Hey guys, Coach Life here again. Just a quickie, I've talked about it a lot on my Oasis videos, but this is the Badlands base I've been working on for now 1227 cycles. It's hard mode, it's with care packages turned on. But as you can see, it's now pretty well established. I have massive volcano power up here. These two volcanoes were feeding this for about 800 cycles. And I finally tapped into it and built a little geothermal plant here. As you can see, the generators are running nice and almost flat out. This is the only one that isn't. That one drops down to about a kilowatt, but the rest are all running flat out at 1.28 kilowatts thanks to the power control station. Thermo-aqua is cooling it using supercoolant, and that runs, I would say, probably about 30% of the time. It's pretty efficient at cooling down. You can see it's turned off there. That will turn off for a while now. Have a tank here built out of thermium, which is keeping the pressure, the temperature pretty constant. So yeah, that's I'm pretty pleased with that. I've utilised this chlorine vent to run some wild pinch peppers, and there's all the pinch pepper nuts in here that were there originally, plus maybe a few extra that have been planted by a pip that was wandering around there. And also it vents into my Draco Ranch through this mesh tile to keep the balm lilies growing. And of course it's 57 degrees, so it's perfect temperature for balm lilies. Ridiculous amount of stone hatch farms here, but I've still got 5,000 tons of granite. And if I run out of that, I've got nearly 3,000 tons of obsidian and 3,000 tons of igneous. So yeah, that's going to be going a while. Of course, I have my obligatory shubvole farm. It's running about 40 critters at the moment, plus probably quite a few eggs. Yeah, it's got 16 eggs and 40 shubvoles in there, obviously all being ranched, fed through the automatic dispenser as and when. I've got my hatcheries up here, which you can see has quite a lot of stone hatchlings in it, which regularly get dropped into the water as they mature, and then meat going down to here and barbecue stored off in here. I do have a few pacu in here that are just being kind of starvation farmed. Some of them are wild, some of them are tame from this fish feeder, but I haven't got an awful lot of algae from this level, so they'll probably just end up getting starvation farmed. But I thought if I got some algae in there, I might just increase the egg production for a little while and get a slightly greater number in there. My usual poker shell ranch with the poker shells trapped in here, eggs being produced and dropped off. And of course, to cope with that, I've got some ethanol production down here, which is making carbon dioxide for all these slicksters, which are merrily munching away and dropping oil down to this pump down here. These generators are running on the excess ethanol, of which there is a plenty. Got 3 oil wells running in here, and quite a lot of crude oil. It is rather toasty in here. This igneous rock was a little bit hot when I tunneled through it. I did scald some dupes rather a bit there. Got another volcano here, which is feeding this petroleum boiler. I've got 13 tons per tile of petroleum building up in there. I just basically built a liquid lock and tunneled all this out in here. So yeah, it was quite warm, so I realized I'd got a volcano in here that I could access, so I just went in and dug it out, and built my petroleum boiler inside, which I think is pretty cool. I've preserved quite a lot of the original abyssalite and just sort of worked within it really. Over here I've got my wild planted arbor trees and my pips just running around. I keep, that's basically just pip storage and lumber production for the ethanol. And here obviously my standard industrial brick, which, well, yeah, not a lot to say about that really. If you've watched my playthroughs, you'll know my standard industrial brick. Obviously Atmo suits to get out of the base through here. I've got 2 sets of docks into the transit tube. I will be building a transit tube down here at some stage, but because as you can see, this is this is about the only area they haven't swept up is the lower levels. Oh, and over here, because we've got no slime biomes, I built a kind of a clay production facility. So these tanks fill up with polluted water, then I deconstruct them to build bottles of polluted water. I've got some toilets down here and some wash basins, which don't get used as much as the main area, but are sufficient to keep these morbs coming in, which produce more polluted oxygen and slime lung. I've got some carbon skimmers down here. I don't believe they're actually up and running yet. To be honest, I've only just built those, but they don't appear to have got any water. Yeah. I know what'll fix that. Just a little snip there. Yep, that'll send some water down to just get that loop started. And then they can skim out all the carbon in here. Had to build a wall up here because, as you can see, it's 380 degrees in here from this obsidian over here, which was rather warm. I'm guessing there's a volcano kind of off the map there that when it spawned, it heated all this lot up and then despawned because it was not in a legitimate location. Right, that's those up and running now. Let's just close that pipe off again because don't need too much water in there, just enough to keep these running. And that'll just eat up that carbon dioxide in there. 2 thermo anti-entropy thermonullifiers. They're just running off excess hydrogen, so there's an overflow there. Send some out to the anti-entropy thermonullifiers to cool my oxygen. Not to greatly, but it's coming in at 72 and it's going out at sort of 19 degrees. So that's fine as far as I'm concerned. This one's cooling down a bit more, but it's just going into storage there. The rest of the hydrogen goes up to the top up here where I've got my liquid hydrogen oxygen production. I also have this one which is getting fed from any excess water, if I have any excess water. At the moment I don't have any water going up there because this is empty, but they should be getting excess from there. I don't understand why that's not going in there. It was. Maybe the desalinator's working. Okay, I'll have to sort that out in a bit. But it was sending the water up from here. So there's another volcano in there that I've boxed in for now because I didn't want it evaporating all my salt water. Maybe I'll do something with that, maybe I won't. I mean, there's so many volcanoes on this map, it's kind of getting ridiculous. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing with my Badlands map. Bit of fun. I might do another hard mode playthrough and record it for you guys to watch. It was a absolute pain in the butt to get established because these dupes eat a lot, but as you can see now I'm running 26 in the base plus 4 in rockets. So yeah, 30 dupes I'm supporting, and I have 1.7 million calories of barbecue. Anyway, hope you're having a good day. I won't be making an Oasis video today. Probably be doing one tonight when I get in from work. Just had a lot of sorting out to do, so there you go. See you soon.